This next lesson is areas of a shaded region, where part of it, the region is shaded, part is not. We'll see how to do this. There are about 6 examples in this lesson. I'm going to do them one at a time in each video, so about 6 videos with this. What I want you to concentrate on today is not just writing down the notes, but listening and seeing if you understand the steps and what the reasoning in these problems. They shouldn't be that tough. If you just listen, see if you understand it. Don't just try and finish it and write it down real fast. So in your notes, our first example looks like this. Determine the area of the shaded region. You can see this first picture here is what we're talking about. They break it up into their separate pictures, but part of this picture is shaded, part is not. Okay? So the thinking behind this is to find the total area of this. In this case, the square is the total area. And it's not all shaded, but we're going to find that total area and then subtract the piece that is not shaded, which is the circle here. So we're going to find those 2 separate areas and take the total area, which is the square, minus the unshaded part, which is the circle, and that'll just leave us with the shaded part. It's like cutting out the circle and subtracting it away and leaving us just the shaded part. So the first step is to find the total area, the area of the square. So that's pretty easy. So there's a lot of steps. Again, understand what's going on here. The total area is the square. So we're going to find the area of that square. The side length is what we got to know, is 8. And so the area of the square is the side to the second power, or the side times itself. And that comes out to 64. In this case, they don't have units, we're just saying units. So we can put 64 there. Show your work a little bit. The area of the square. Next, we're going to find the area of the circle, because again, we're taking that total square minus the circle. So the circle, what is the area of the circle? So area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. Now how do I know the radius? Well, you look at this picture, all the way across the square, which is the same thing as all the way across the circle. So that diameter, not the radius, is 8. So to find the radius, we take the diameter. Again, I'll draw this in. All the way across the circle is the same thing as all the way across the square. That's 8. And that's the diameter. So how do we find the radius? We take the diameter and divide it by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that's how we know the radius equals 4. So now pi times the radius squared. We'll continue to round our answers to the nearest tenth. Rounded to the nearest tenth is 50.3 units. So now we have this square, we have the circle. What do you think we're going to do next? We said, what operation would you use to determine the area of the shaded region in the original figure? Take the total area of the square and subtract the unshaded part, the circle. So we're going to do subtraction. So we'll show that just right here. Again, I want this in your head. The shaded area equals the total area, in this case a square, minus the unshaded area, in this case the circle. So we take 64 minus 50.3 and get 13.7 square units. There it is. So that's our whole thing today. Shaded area equals total area minus the unshaded. We'll have different figures, have to do different things. We'll even bring back some of that possibly area of a regular polygon we did before. So there's your first one. Now I want you to do the quick check, and you can check with me when you're done and see if you got it right. And then we'll go to the next example.